Hey everybody, how is everybody doing? Welcome back to Daughters of the King. I'm Kathryn Gore. I'm not gonna be long tonight, but I do want to talk to you about wrestling with God. Wrestling with God. Now, the word wrestle means to contend by grappling with and striving to trip or throw an opponent down off balance. Now, grapple is a hand-to-hand struggle. That's what grapple means. Another definition for wrestle is to combat an opposing tendency or force. To engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate. Many of us are doing this. To engage in or as if in a violent or determined struggle. Struggle is the key word tonight, okay? Another meaning is to move, or another meaning is to move, maneuver, or force with difficulty. This is about wrestling, okay? Overall, wrestle is the action or an instance of wrestling, which is a struggle. My son used to wrestle. And as a mom, as a single parent, I used to go out there and sit and watch him wrestle. And I was on the edge of the seat. And I was like, don't you hurt my son. You know, all of this crazy stuff. I'm thinking that. But, you know, it never came out because I wanted to keep myself reserved. But I had kept my eyes on every move. I like to study people and things. And you notice a lot when you do that. But make a long story short, I noticed how they would be in a grip where they were like trying to overpower each other to get points on the board, or to score, or pin them down and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, as God had put this in my spirit all week, this is what happens in the spirit. Okay, we wrestle with God in a way where we become super frustrated in certain situations in our lives. I find it to be interesting because you can wrestle with God in a good way and you can wrestle with God in a negative way. And what I have been seeing recently is people wrestling with God unaware, and they don't understand why and what is going on in their lives, why things are taking place in their lives. These people acknowledge the Lord. They say, I love God. I talk to God every day. But when you really take a closer look and you hear the things that are coming out of their mouths and how they live their life, they're not living for God, but they are living for their flesh to be fed. Okay, so that's the root problem. When you wrestle with God in a negative way, it's because your flesh is still alive. When I say your flesh is still alive, that means that your thoughts, your mind, everything about you want to have full and complete control over certain situations in your life. And when that happens, you leave a lot of room for difficulties because you don't hear the voice of God in a way that's going to give you that wisdom and understanding that is needed for certain situations in your life. I've been there. Major frustration. It is exhausting when you want to have full and complete control, because you realize your way is not working. You didn't try everything that you could, but roadblocks are put up. Things happen where you're like, what is going on? And to be honest with you, sometimes God allows for roadblocks and stuff to be put up to say, stop, don't do that, regroup, listen to what I'm trying to show you, like big warning, This is making me think about the story in the Bible where I want to say it was I don't know if it was a prophet right now or not. I feel like it is, but he was riding his donkey. All right, and the donkey saw the angel, and the angel was upset with the prophet, with that man, and the donkey did everything that it was supposed to protect that prophet. And the prophet got mad because he was doing whatever he wanted to do and didn't understand that there was an angel there. So he done beat the donkey and everything. And the donkey was like, haven't I always been good to you? Stuff like that. But I feel like this dropped in my spirit because this is how we see certain things. We set out certain things to accomplish, and then we go for it, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. We get ourselves in a jam, and then we blame God. And this is what's happening to a lot of people. A lot of people are doing their own thing, and then they get frustrated with God and say, well, God put me here, so he must want to punish me. He must want to do this. And that's not at all what is taking place. The mentality that we have when we become frustrated is not rational. It's not rational. And when we hit roadblocks along our journey, that should bring humility. That should bring you to a place where you have to stop and question yourself, question God. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what am I really doing? Is it really worth it? Last week, I think it was, I shared with you all that I wanted to do something nice for someone. And I had my mind set on it. And I said, I'm going to do it. And God allowed for me to take a drive and say, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that? But you see how awesome God is, because he'll come. He'll talk to you about what you should and should not do. And he leaves it to you to make the right decision. So a lot of people who don't want to give up full and complete control, they feel like it's not fair for me to give up my whole life for God. And it's like you misunderstand, because once you give God full and complete control, he doesn't take full and complete control. He gives you back the control that you desire, because now you're in a place where he can trust you, and he knows that you're not going to go and be buck wild with whatever he has showed you. Does that make sense? So, a lot of people say, God is doing this and God is doing that. And he knows all things. Okay. God is in all things. But I think we misunderstand that we have a part to play. God has given us common sense. He's given us a way of escape. He's given us knowledge and wisdom. He even gives us angels and people that come to us. He'll, press it upon somebody's heart to reach out to us, to encourage us. And if it comes to the point where you don't want to listen to anyone, you're going to find yourself in a bad way. And this is what I see people doing. Now, Jacob, he wrestled with God in a good way. Jacob had a lot of things going on in his life, and a man came to him, and they wrestled all night long. Let's go to the book of Genesis 32. And it says, that night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and the man wrestled with him till daybreak. All right. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, let me go for it is daybreak. So they wrestled all night. And Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Unless you bless me. See, Jacob needed that blessing from the Lord. How many of us are wrestling with God in a way where we're like, God, you have to be there. You have to show up and mean it from the heart and let him take control instead of you wanting to be in control. All right. The man asked Jacob, what is your name? Jacob answered, Jacob. Then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. God changed his name, and I'm going to tell you why. He said, because you have struggled with God. Struggle is the key word tonight. You've struggled with God and with humans, and you have overcome. We need to overcome. We need to overcome. Jacob said, please tell me your name. But he replied, why do you ask my name? Then he blessed him there. Y'all, if y'all want to get a blessing from the Lord, give it all to God. Wrestle with him. Knock on his door day in and day out. When I say that, I mean pray. I don't care what you're doing. Constantly think about the Lord and say, God, please, I'm telling y'all, when you reach this point, you have an open heaven. You have an open heaven, because that's showing God that you don't care about nothing else. All you care about is him. All you care about is what he has for you. But you've got to let yourself stop wrestling in a negative way and wrestle with God. Tear down the walls of heaven and say, God, it's either you or nothing else. And watch how many blessings continually flow. Favor on your life will be like none other. And you could be at peace. Everything that you need is in the hand of God. So y'all think about that this week. I'm going to let y'all go, but y'all think about it. Go and read Genesis 32, 22 through 32. And ask God to bless you. Let God know, God, I've been wrestling with you for so long in a negative way and I missed it. But now I want to be like Jacob. And I want to wrestle with you until you bless me. I need you to be in my life. You need to take full and complete control. All right. So y'all be safe. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching Daughters of the King. We appreciate your support. You can reach me at www.dotking.org. That's www.dotking.org. You can subscribe or send a message through live chat, or you can send an email to Kathryn, Kathryn, @dotking.org. This ministry is designed to speak to your heart. Feel free to share your thoughts about the message or give insight on a topic that you would like for me to discuss. We are here for you.